Okay, thank you for this opportunity to speak today. In today's session, I'd like to talk about our initiative to utilize Tableau over the 5 years from 2012 to 2017 by telling a story of a journey. At this point, I'd just like to give a little background about our company, Recruit Group. We were founded 55 years ago and currently have more than 30,000 employees worldwide with annual sales of $30 billion US. We operate a number of platforms for matching clients to users. We have a lot of vertical platforms. These include human resources, dining, travel, housing, and so on. We have more than 200 brands. Apparently, Indeed.com is famous in the US. We managed to scale up Tableau over the 5-year period from initial implementation on a small domestic scale to a global operation today. Today, from the Recruit Group in Japan, 2 members from the LOB department, including myself, and 1 person from the group-wide IT department. We'll talk about the background to Tableau implementation, anti-patterns, examples of utilization, and the organizational relationship between LOB and COE. We very much hope that this will be of use to anyone considering expansion from individual to departmental implementation, and then from departmental to group-wide implementation. My name is Hiroki Maeda. I belong to Recruit Lifestyle, a company engaged in hotel booking and restaurant search services. And I coordinate planning, data analysis, and development for data products, which leverage data in business. I began using Tableau in 2010, and I'm participating in my 4th conference. I'm also the chairperson of the Japan Users Group and have written a book on Tableau as training material for users. It's available from online bookstore if you have an interest, although only in Japanese at the moment, I'm afraid. To get started, I'd like to talk about our 5-year history of using Tableau. We began to use Tableau in 2012 with several people on the analysis team, and in the process of expanding its usage within the department, exceeded 100 desktop and server licenses in 2014. As COE, the group-wide IT department has supported further expansion to the present day. Today, we'll divide this journey into 3 parts: the implementation phase, expansion phase, and the present, with each speaker taking 1 section each. I'd now like to begin my section by talking about the background to the start of Self-BI project. I'm sure everyone here today is already very aware of the usefulness of big data in business. However, large volume big data of diverse types is characterized by great difficulty in data analysis. It's big and too complex. As an example, the data held by our hotel booking service has doubled in the past 3 years. In addition, analysis combining varied data sources has a high degree of complexity, and sales analysis at the supervisor level became more and more difficult. In the end, request tickets were concentrated on the dedicated analysis team, resulting in them being overloaded with visualization requests, resulting in a decline in the speed of decision-making. Against this background, we decided to implement Self-BI, and this was the genesis of the project. Before Tableau, we had already notched up 1 failure that ultimately helps us succeed further down the line. In 2011, we had failed in a project to implement a well-known enterprise BI product. I, of course, was in charge of that project. So, what went wrong? We established BICC as an organization, adapted a well-known enterprise product as BI, and primarily placed efforts on dashboard development. We also purchased DWH and made considerable investment in data mart development. All good so far. However, we failed. Actually, my previous job was in sales, and I had sold BI-related solutions. I had often told the customer, to begin with BI, establishment of BICC and implementation of DWH are necessary. You need some scale for it to go well. I was very much speaking from a vendor side, though, and this advice may not have been the best for all customers, if I'm honest. With large-scale BI implementation, from a ground zero situation in an organization that has nothing other than Excel, it's not possible to run project with high mobility. I learned that it's important to take the approach of polishing the dashboard while performing analysis and racking up quick wins. There's one point of caution. I'm not pointing out BICC as being at fault, but if you slip up during this phase, you will most likely fail. So, based on these experiences, we took an approach called land and expand to widen organizational BI utilization from ground zero. It's a method of expansion through the repetition of quick wins. What we placed importance on with quick wins were the following. First, clarification of differences from legacy. We focused on issues that cannot be resolved with Excel. We considered that going from cannot to can, not good to better was important. That is making possible what is not possible. As an example, using a 50 million row data mat for analysis during meetings, we performed impromptu analysis from many dimensions and emphasized the clear differences from legacy. Secondly, the selection of team members. Conducting education from scratch means a loss of speed. We selected a person who cleared human resource requirements and were suited to promoting utilization. I'll expand on this point in the next slide. Finally, agile-based development. Users who have long been limited by spreadsheets are unable to put forth clear visualization requirements at the initial stage. An agile development approach refining this at high speed while performing analysis together with users is crucial. Naturally, as project leader, I also had to improve my skills. I went through intensive learning of Tableau and SQL. In the end, however, what was most important was a passion for building a data-driven culture. Through my experiences of meeting the incredible men and women at other leading companies with a data-driven culture, I was energized and set on the right path. So, back to our second focus for quick wins, HR requirements for team selection. For reference, I've listed human resource requirements that we defined here. There aren't many people who meet them all, though. The first requirement before handing over a Tableau license is that the person understands the analysis data items and is able to use the pivot function. Persons who respond quickly to email are also quick with their work. This is my way of understanding their motivation. In addition, it's great news if the person's report line includes an executive who will support the BI project. We'll give Tableau licenses to people who clear those criteria and further filter by the secondary criteria. We confirmed from database access history whether people were using Tableau, and we had the license returned if there was not a record of use with a certain period. We also asked whether people could immediately understand the difference between the formulas shown on screen. to filter basic understanding of statistics and calculated field. This was another of the points we used in selection. So, moving on to our main battle plan, we sought and widened quick wins with regard to the different roles of multiple products. We undertook a strategy called land and expand, and it basically followed this pattern. 1. The producer of product C was too busy, and the win was not possible. This was also perhaps related to our inability to explain how attractive the result would be, and the producer couldn't imagine a big difference with their legacy solution. 2. We quickly moved on to a different producer. This attempt was good. 3. Continuing to move the next 2 was also good. 4. The fourth effort yielded great result. 5. Product A was implemented for all. 6. Reports are now delivered to executives too. 7. In the end, the initial producer also began working with Tableau after observing the success of other teams. A certain amount of trial and error is necessary to create a great flow. The results were significant. We managed to improve the productivity of ad hoc analysis 15-fold and dashboard development 10-fold. At this point, awareness of Tableau greatly expanded, and we received many requests for implementation. We entered the expansion phase. It was at this stage that a lot of issues became visible. To discuss the expansion phase, I'd like to hand things over to my colleague, Ryusuke Shimizu.
Thanks, Hiroki. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryusuke. I joined 2014 as a group-wide BI-related IT manager. I'm a co-author of the Tableau book that Hiroki mentioned earlier. Again, it's available from all good bookshops. As COE, I support the group-wide implementation of Tableau. I'll pick up the story where Hiroki left off. In the expansion phase, things had gone pretty well, but implementation phase saw many new issues come to the surface. I implementation solutions for those issues as COE, and in this section, I'll discuss those issues and solutions. In implementation phase, we concluded Tableau education for explorers. That was fine during the implementation phase, but in the expansion phase, which aims for data democratization, the number of users didn't expand. Expansion stopped in some departments that had gone through implementation, particularly when explorers transferred other departments. Followers had no chance to learn, and even when they attempted analysis, the data was complex, and they could not understand it. In addition, explorers who had received education were stuck at Tableau 7 and were unable to use new features. They couldn't use the latest map features or didn't know about LOD features. To address these issues, we had to strengthen the Tableau education program and carry out improvements on complexified data catalogs. So first, here is a quick look at how we updated the education program. The 3 major points in education were as follows. Firstly, provide opportunities for learning. Then, conduct follow-up. And finally, maintain the frequency of education sessions. The result was that over 1,000 people are undertaking the basic course and are continually making progress. We implemented the Tableau Doctor to provide and impromptu solutions, but when resolution with Tableau is not the best choice for issues brought in, we also present resolution methods using the environment or database. We are able to do this precisely because we know the businesses, services, and the environment. Essentially, the step-up approach is very important as well as the frequency of training due to software revisions. So, moving on from education, let's look at cataloging of complexified data. As was noted earlier, the complexification of data was a major problem that hindered data democratization. To address this problem, we made catalogs of data and developed a system enabling web-based searches. The main data sources included Oracle, MySQL, BigQuery, and Adobe. Variety was the key. The number of tables currently exceeds 57,000. So now, let's look at a brief demo of cataloging of complexified data. In this case, I'd like to know the historical growth rate of the travel industry for every prefecture in Japan. The problems when trying to utilize data are: where is the table? Which column should I use? What does the code mean? So let's look at the meta-looking system to solve it. From the meta-looking search page, natural language can be used as a search string. Here, you can see result of the booking table for the travel service you want to analyze. Such result matching the terms are shown with popular results aggregated near the top of the search results. Tables with many users are also ranked more highly. Information on the reservation table is also clearly shown. In the reservation information, relevant information is featured in columns. And importantly, comments from engineers featured on the right-hand side, allowing the better analysis. A lack of understanding of the meaning of various code can be a barrier to productivity. So with a simple mouse over, this information is displayed. On this screen, selected SQL statements of the reference table are shown. SQL can be edited on this screen too. On the right-hand side of the screen, the SQL related to the table is saved. You can also refer to the SQL created and saved by others for reference. In this instance, I was able to create a report with SQL written by others without having to write anything myself. I could easily visualize the relevant data historical growth rates. By following the process of search, find, acquire knowledge, and update SQL if necessary, both volume and quality of data increase over time. The COE provided basic education on Tableau and solutions to resolve data complexity. We expanded to 1,000 users and began to promote data democratization. So that's all for stage 2 of our journey. Next, my colleague Emi Itayoshi will conclude the story with an example of LOB from the past year.
Hello, everyone. Fine. Someone win the slot. Last night, I lose $20. Anyway, I will start my part. Hello, everyone. My name is Emi Itayoshi. I'm a data producer, and monetizing data is my mission. As Ryusuke mentioned, the COE pushes and supports the expansion phase day and night, and is very busy resolving business issues using data. In terms of the organization, this is a part I belong to here. I joined in 2016. My main mission today is how important data storytelling is in completing a profit-generating biz with overwhelming high quality. I'll start with an example that we faced this past year. In December 2016, there was a major issue in the business domain in which I worked. The program reported to me was that we lack tools for increasing clients' retention rate for the annual subscription service. These were the words from a restaurant search business. The manager responsible for the business called me in and spoke to me further. Develop a dashboard to serve as a tool for client retention. I have to accept that. The challenge we undertook resulted in 38 iterations of this before the final revision was complete. It was a lengthy and an ongoing process, but the progress was rapid. Today, the value of the resulting business is about 6 million yen, but $6 million US. The most important point is data storytelling. What makes data storytelling so important? First, a profit-generating base is composed of two elements. These are appropriate KPIs and appropriate design. But what really makes these two elements shine is data storytelling. So what sort of data storytelling did you actually iterate? What we did was quite simple. First, we assigned a salesman, data developer, dashboard developer, and designer to the Viz development team. We had these 4 people actually use a Viz that we created and role-played sales talks for drawing out client retention. We did this because designers don't always accurately simulate real use cases. The usage of salespeople was key to introducing a real and practical element to the design stage. It took 38 iterations. But finally, we derived appropriate KPIs and appropriate design. This is a level 0 Viz as the initial stage. You can see the dashboards on screen. It's a simple aggregation report, and the KPIs are unclear. As for the state of the design, we tried adding Excel-like colors as a basic effort. There is no data storytelling here. This is a cannot case. Visualization is poor. I was amazed at the state of level there, and the quality was no way near what I expected. And so, I assigned a designer to the team and had everyone go through data storytelling iterations. This is a level 1 base at about the 10th iteration. We started to receive many KPI requests from people in sales as they deepened their understanding of Tableau. That's a good thing, but the KPIs increased too much. At the same time, what sort of base was proposed by the web designer I assigned? Japan doesn't generally have a specialist role for dashboard designer, so we end up using web designers and try to direct them in the role. The initial proposal was that human icons now change their size with sheer percentage. So how about data storytelling? How about? It's still not good. With people becoming storytellers themselves and through repeated role-playing, the many KPIs and designs with different directions all became refined into a clearer state over each iteration. Heading from level 1 to level 2 was simple. In any case, all the members conducted repeated sales talks and patiently went through data storytelling iterations. Upon reaching this stage, instead of internal role-playing, we had the designer sitting on actual business talks with clients, applying their learning points into a real-world biz, and carried out further polishing. This is a level 2 biz after the end of 38 iterations of data storytelling. In the end, we were able to achieve optimal KPIs and optimal design. Through the process of continual effort, we could funnel good storytelling through database. It was something like a directed evolutionary process. Initially, our designer approached the project from a design perspective, but after understanding the salespeople's true needs, through sitting in on their real meeting and constant exchanges, they could approach it from a practical level. In all honesty, it was quite difficult to get staff from other teams for this project. We had to covertly get them to cross over teams because managers complained about a lack of resources. But after our success stories, we could more easily show the benefits of such an approach with persuasive case studies. Finally, I'd just like to share a message from a top sales exec.
はい、こんにちは、営業責任者の金光です。営業活動っていうのはこれどんな商品でもそうなんですけど、商品を案内するっていうやり方をしてる営業は基本的にダメで大体売れないんですよね。でそのお客さんがその商品をどう活用するとどんないいことがあるのかってことをそのお客さんの立場にとってちゃんとストーリーにして話せるストーリーテリングできるってやつがやっぱり営業としては売れるやつだってことがさまざまな営業を通じて分かってるんですね。今回このデータをですね使ってそのデータっていうのはあくまでも数字の塊でしかないんですけど、それがそのお客さんにとってどういう意味を持つのかってことをちゃんとストーリーに組み立ててそれが話せるような状態にまで加工して持ってきているってことはすごく意味があって、実際ですねこれを通じてお客さんにですねどんな意味があるのかどんなストーリーがこの先待ってるのかってことを営業たちが伝えて大きな成果を上げたというのが実証されています。ぜひ皆さんもご活用ください。以上です。
Storytelling is key based on success stories. Based on our first result, we could then recreate similar teams based on what we learned in the first covert version. In closing, I have pictures of actual data storytelling, which I would like to show you. This is a picture from level 0 to level 1. They are role-playing again and again. And then this is another picture from level 1 to level 2. The designer is sitting on actual business talks with a client. Left side, real client. And this shows a sales talk competition we held with about 20 actual section heads from the sales department using the client retention dashboard that we developed. We had prizes, first prize, second prize, and more. Sales execs decided which sales talk was successful to increase the retention rate. The key is to involve the whole organization with a data-driven approach. What is a profit-generating width and an optical width? The answer becomes visible through the repetition of data storytelling. A width that can speak smoothly, and that's the best of it for us. And here's the winner of the competition. So finally, for a quick recap, I'll hand back to Hiroki. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy. Data storytelling is super important. It is driving our business to new heights. Just before finishing, I'd like to share some recent challenges too. We have over 1,000 desktop users right now and growing. We have got adoption, but we should drive transformation. To do so, LOB should cover the last 1 mile. COE should pursue total optimality among our companies, and that works very well. On the other hand, on the LOB side, we should keep up with the speed of business. We have to balance the COE and LOB. As a result, we have 2 challenges: development of custom user training and self-service ETL. Why do we have to develop a LOB custom training program? To accelerate our advanced analytics becomes incredibly significant for users. We have many business domains, as I mentioned at the beginning of this session. Those data schemas are completely different. That's why we developed custom training program using Tableau against real production data, more practical analysis, and SQL capability for data preparation themselves. For example, we made 3-minute videos which show how to analyze real objective. As an example, which area was the worst for hotel cancellation rates last November? Each video has a specific theme. Through these training programs, users have learned the structure of their own dedicated data too. Our second challenge is self-service ETL. In order to increase the speed of analysis, we stored as much data source as possible in the data warehouse. But as the number of users and table objects increased, the DWH performance went down. So we analyzed each table stats with Tableau. We looked at how many users, how many rows, how often are there updates, what is average response speed. And we sorted table object to offload from DWH to Amazon S3. Here's a quick overview of how it works. This case is annual campaign performance analysis. Imagine you are a marketing person and have to analyze campaign performance between this summer and last summer. But this analysis is done only once a year. So your DWH doesn't have those data. What should you do? First, you check the data catalog. Second, enter the table name in Slack. Then, Slack bot manages the loading of tables from S3 to DWH and notifies you after loading is complete. Now, you can analyze the summer campaign and join some other table if needed. Be careful, this table will be truncated automatically in 7 days. Quick analysis with Tableau. It's that simple. This self-service ETL works fine. Just type the table name you want and wait for a short period. Creating a harmonious balance of COE and LOB is key. LOB should not see COE as simply a service provider, and COE should not see LOB as simply a customer, too. COE cannot cover individual business requirements, such as prioritizing which tables are important. COE has to focus on the bigger picture. That's why LOB should cover the last 1 mile. So, today we shared our story at Recruit Group of how we implemented Tableau, grow it across multiple business domains, and face the new challenges that expansion brought. Of course, we still face challenges today, but our key message revolves around the principle of land and expand with quick wins, while providing frequent training for users. The importance of data storytelling is paramount. And as the scale of implementation increased, ensuring that self-service data preparation is in place to lighten the load from COE. Ultimately, it's about good cooperation between COE and LOB. We very much hope our story has given you something to think about with your own implementation, where you could perhaps identify with some of our challenges too. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.